Front and Center. Front and Center. A focus on important and significant developments affecting the lives of Filipinos, not only in the Philippines, but also those living and working around the world. Join us in Front and Center. Front and Center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good morning to all of our listeners here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Welcome to another edition of Front and Center, where we put very significant issues affecting our country, the Philippines, as our program title says, Front and Center. On behalf of our colleague Jerome Toledo, I am your host for today, Steph Vicente, joining you all for a 30-minute worth of talk discussing important matters with our government officials, people from the private sector, or even members of the academe. As seen through our video live streaming, you may watch and listen to Front and Center through our Facebook page. Just search Radyo Pilipinas World Service. The same goes for our official YouTube channel. Meanwhile, we also have an audio live streaming platform thanks to the Evox PBS Receiver app. You may download the said app via Google Play Store if you are using an Android phone or via App Store if you are using an iPhone. Once you have entered the Evox PBS Receiver app, just find the logo of Radyo Pilipinas World Service in order for you to be able to listen live to our programs such as Front and Center. For today's edition of our program, we are going to talk about the online scams that people experience during the Burr months. Burr months signaled the start of the holiday season here in the Philippines, which means that it is also a time for us to give and receive from our loved ones. However, it seemed that scammers also take opportunities in the same period to find possible victims. In this regard, the Cybercrime Investigation and Coordinating Center or CICC has reminded the public to stay vigilant against scams that usually increase during the Burr months, as criminals often take advantage of the holiday rush and the public's increased spending to launch sophisticated fraud schemes. How can we combat these online scams? What can we do so that we will not become victims of such schemes? To learn more about our topic for today, we are now joined by Mr. Josel de Guzman, who is the co-founder and co-lead convener of Scam Watch Pilipinas. Mr. de Guzman, welcome to Front and Center. This is Steph Vicente of Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Hi, thank you for inviting us. Thank you for inviting Scam Watch Pilipinas. Hopefully, we can share something that your listeners or your viewers can learn.
Thank you again, Mr. de Guzman, for gracing our program for today. First of all, what are the most common online scams that are being experienced by Filipinos during Burr months?
Well, excuse me. As we can see, because Christmas, we celebrate Christmas early, so it means that the shopping happens even before December. So in this aspect, what we saw in the past was the proliferation of text scam pretending to be fake offers coming from SMS messages with links. But because of the efforts of the law enforcement agencies like the PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group, PAOK, and even the NBI, they were able to close a number of scam hubs that basically ended the SMS text scams because these are being operated by scam hubs. However, because there are still scam hubs out there and syndicates, so what they did is that they transferred into other operations. So among the popular is that they're now using IMSI catcher devices, wherein they hijack the 2G signal, the 2G signal of the 2G signal of the network, and they can basically pretend to be any of the official companies or brand like telcos, like banks and e-wallets. So they can hijack the official channel. And then of course the common denominator here is that there's a link, they're using fear. And as soon as you click the link, that's the time that the scam happens. Another form of scam is what we call the call scam. These are targeting the credit card holders, wherein a caller or a scammer will pretend to be a representing the credit card company and will offer a credit limit upgrade. So let's say for instance your credit limit is only 50,000, they will offer 100,000. But the difference here is that they will still ask for information like your credit card details, and even they will send verification number to verify that it's actually you who's using that credit card, which is crazy because they're the one who actually called. So as soon as you give the verification number that they will send, that's already the OTP. So even while talking to this credit card, they are already using your credit card, and I mean, so they are already using it for scams. So that's the one. So that's why if someone calls you and offer a credit card limit upgrade, that's already a scam. Another form is the task scams because people now know that an unknown prepaid number with link is a scam. So these scammers now transferred to Viber and Telegram and pretending to offer some work or some part-time jobs that you can earn like 10,000 in a week or 50,000 in a month. For as long as you do a certain scam, they pretend to be Shopee or even Lazada or any e-commerce site wherein you just need to give review. However, they will after that they will take you to a group chat wherein of course they will even send you money. So you will think that this is legit. But however, in the course of the task, as soon as you level up, they will require you to invest a certain amount up to the point wherein you no longer have a budget, and they will even encourage you to loan. And as soon as let's say they can no longer get you anything, they will just block you, and as soon as they get all your money. So that's why we have to be careful. And the most popular one, of course, with the ICT Secretary Henry Aguda giving warnings when it comes to social media, is the proliferation of many fake promos and fake shopping fake shopping sites on social media, particularly Facebook. So that's why we have to be very careful and to do our online transaction in legitimate e-commerce sites such as Lazada and Shopee. And if we can avoid going to the marketplace, because these are not the sellers here, they don't regulate. Facebook don't regulate the actual transaction that's happening. And if you want to see if the seller is legit, you have to check how long that the seller has been there, how many followers the seller has. So these are just the basic tips. But nevertheless, if you see some, let's say, fake shopping websites, please screenshot them and join the Scam Vault page on Facebook. It's a Facebook group wherein the data that you send, the screenshots that you send, the link, the numbers, and even the Facebook accounts are being submitted to the PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group and Cybercrime Investigation and Coordinating Center, so that we can block the websites, we can block the numbers, and of course we can request from Meta to block the fake Facebook accounts.
Thank you for that, Mr. De Guzman. I will just go back to the SMS scams because myself also received such messages, and those messages are labeled as the legit establishments. How come that the scammers were able to for clarification, we're able to penetrate such establishments? Is this about the security measures that are being implemented by each establishment? Because
Yeah.
these are not just telcos, but banks and
Well,
other kinds of business establishments.
what is not secured, basically in the telcos, you have cell sites. So you have several frequencies. Right now, we're using 5G and 4G. LTE is 4G. But those that are not secure is basically 2G. So this is the edge technology back in early 2006, 2007. So this is the basis of text and call. So before yung unlimited call, unlimited text, so they're using 2G. Then it was upgraded in around 2010s to 3G, 4G, 5G. In other countries, they're no longer using 3G and 2G. So right now, the DICT, Secretary Henry Aguda, is now starting the conversation if we need or if we really need the 2G and 3G. However, kasi ang daming naka-tie up dyan eh. So that's also the basis of the OTP. But of course, you have several ways not just OTP because OTP right now is also being replicated by the scammers. So I think that conversation of removing 2G and 3G is something that we need to really look at. Although there are still a number of mobile device that are still using featured phones, particularly in the province. So hopefully, by in the next 3 years, we can all connect everyone. I think the issue there is not just the SIM cards, but of course the available cell sites. That's why you have the Konektadong Pinoy now. Hopefully, it can build some cell sites with the new players coming in far-flung areas na walang signal. So, ayun. So, basically, 2G is very vulnerable. You just need an IMSI catcher device. You can actually penetrate government agencies. I mean, during the last typhoon, they even pretended to be DSWD. So, it was in the actual official chat of DSWD that if you want to support, you click this link. So I think the rule of thumb there when it comes to SMS, regardless whether they were able to hijack that particular signal, I think the key there is for as long as there's a link on SMS, it's a scam.
So the best way now, for now, is to go for 4G or 5G connection. Is that right, Mr. De Guzman?
Yeah, I think we're already using that right now, and it does not use a lot of frequency. So I think the way to go is going 5G. So and besides, nobody's using SMS anymore.
Yes.
So before we used to be the SMS capital of the world. Right now we're social media. We're using messaging app. They are all internet based. When we call, I mean we were using messaging apps like Viber, WhatsApp, Telegram, Messenger, so we can still call. So basically, what we need right now are cell sites because in the active urban areas like Metro Manila, Davao, Cebu, and among others, uh, there is now we are using 5G and 4G already.
Um, is this the same mechanism? What you mentioned about the SMS scams, is this the same mechanism being used in the scams present in Viber or
No, no,
other
this is
messaging?
different. This is different. Basically, an IMSI catcher can only target SMS. So it's just the text. So what it does, it's in the backpack, it's in the car. It can target 1 to 2 kilometer radius. So they will preset let's say, all smart user within a 1 to 2 kilometer radius. And then as soon as they activate that device, it will hijack the 2G. So on your phone, let's say if your signal is 5G, you will be surprised it will turn into an edge, letter E. So it means that there's already an IMSI catcher device nearby. And then as soon as you see the letter E, you will receive an SMS pretending to be the telco like Globe, Smart, or even some banks. So like e-wallets like Maya. So there.
Yes, I think I get the mechanism now. And we just go back to the scams in Viber, of course. Of course, we know how to be vigilant since the images, probably the images of these scammers probably give a clue already if that person is a scammer, and the messages. But still, how can we could we just block them instantly, or is it better to report first then block them?
Yeah. Well, when it comes to the SMS, it's no longer there. But let's say, for instance, if you receive, if they go to Viber, because if you receive, let's say, a message from an unknown number using SMS, it's a unknown number. No photos, not everything. However, if you go to Viber, it already has a photo and it already has a name. And the first message is, hi po, hello po. So,
Hmm.
you'll be surprised. Oh, it's like for someone who really is not, who doesn't know, probably this person who's pretty or who's guapo, di ba, is
Hmm.
messaging you, and then that's it. So I think that's the difference. So if you don't know anyone, if you don't know the person, I suggest, um, let's not engage. And of course, you can block it. But if you join the scam vault, PH, you can actually click the account and then so that we can see the number. However, in Telegram, they can hide their numbers. Eh.
Hmm.
So, but on Viber, we can easily ask the CICC to get those number blocked so that they won't be used anymore.
Mm-mm-mm. And with regards to that, since there are issues when it comes to mobile numbers now, since of course we know that the SIM Registration Act is being implemented, but is there any indication regards the probably the strength or of the implementation of this law, because there are still scams?
Yeah, well, there's a loophole in that law that we've been asking since last year, for the legislation to amend it, because you can, any person can actually register unlimited number of SIM cards. And the PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group has been like, arresting a lot of pre-registered SIM cards every week. So that's the problem. People are actually selling these SIM cards. So let's say you can actually register as many SIM cards as you like, and most of those, there are cases, a lot of cases wherein during the scam hub raids, they recover SIM card registered to one person, and then around 600 SIM card is registered to that particular person. So 600, sometimes even 300. So they can actually manipulate it. That's why even now, if you, let's say, if you type on Facebook, so let's say, pre-registered SIM card on Marketplace, if you see someone, and then you can
Hmm.
actually report that, and the PNP will do its thing.
Hmm. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah.
Now, we move towards another kind of scam, because we recently encounter the term e-pickpocketing. What is
Yeah.
this and how does this happen?
Well, the e-pickpocketing has been happening since time immemorial. It has a lot of ways. It's basically, it means, because most of the scams right now are random. So if it's e-pickpocketing, it means you're targeted.
Hmm.
So when you're targeted, it means probably one of your details has been leaked somewhere. And most of this happens is, number one, number one, there's this SIM swap. They will call the telco pretending to be you. They will give some information that they already have, and then you'll just be surprised your phone will die. And then they
Hmm.
will already have access to everything. I mean, because your SIM card is no longer valid. So that's one. So another one, it's basically they have access to a lot of accounts. So it's not true that let's say when someone calls you, they can already hijack your mobile device. No,
Hmm.
it means they're only checking if the SIM card is active.
Hmm.
So that's why if you say hello, hello, and no one answers, okay, this SIM card is active. So let's start operating on it. So that's why we were recommending to all your viewers and everyone actually to download those call apps so that you'll know who is calling you, because they have a large number of database wherein they can actually identify if the call is suspicious.
Hmm.
So that.
Mm-mm. Um, then I would also like to ask if of course, we have these aforementioned online scams, but is there a scam that involves artificial intelligence or AI as of this moment?
Pardon, pardon?
Okay, I will repeat the question.
Okay,
We
yes.
have mentioned SMS scams, Viber scams, and then this pickpocketing. So I'm just wondering, and I think our listeners also wonder, since there is currently a use in artificial or of the use of artificial intelligence or AI. Is there a scam that we currently experience that involves AI?
Well, a lot, a lot. Well, I think around 2 months ago, even the president was used. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. was used, wherein there's a deep fake with him and Elon Musk. And actually, the president was promoting some type of investment. So, and it took time before, I mean, that particular post has been taken down. So they use AI there. So they also use AI of celebrities, even journalists, selling some goods on Facebook. They even use Ramon Ang
Mm,
before, Lance Gokongwei, talking about investment. So we have to be careful of this. That's why uh, you, the, it's the same thing with fake news. You have to verify the account who is actually sharing, because you just don't believe anything you see on the internet.
mm,
Right now, I mean, 3 months ago, it's easier to detect an AI or a deep fake. But right now, given the advancement that they've done, uh, you can no longer actually uh, make a difference. Di ba?
mm,
So that's why you have to check the account, double check the official account of the person if the person is actually promoting that. But I suggest that any celebrity is promoting investment, it's a scam.
mm,
Any investment, crypto, gold, and among other investments. So
mm,
those are scams, especially if you see them on Facebook.
mm. And
That's why you
actually,
only invest in legitimate
yeah.
companies like the banks
Mm, mm,
or crypto exchange like PDAX or even Gcash and Maya. They sell crypto if you want to do there, but that's a different story altogether.
mm, mm, mm. And of course, we could see even on social media that AI is being used on videos, and in those videos, they could actually create very humanized characters there. So it's very, I think that's very
Yeah,
scary nowadays.
yeah. It's so easy. I mean, you just need to put instruction, whether it's you can use Gemini, you can use ChatGPT, you can even use Grok or of X. So, and it's very easy right now. So that's why we need to be more careful and don't believe anything that we see on the internet.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. Um, and now, would just like to ask, given all of the kinds of scams that we have mentioned earlier, what would be the role of each stakeholder in combating these online scams? Although you have mentioned earlier the ICT and the PNP-ACG.
Yeah, well, yeah. The good thing about right now is that everyone is making their own stand against scam. Unlike before, it was only Scam Watch Pilipinas. So, we're happy with that result, and we went to the Global Anti-Scam Alliance Summit Asia recently, and we were recognized the effort of the entire Philippines, particularly the anti-scam quad model that we were implementing, wherein you just don't do awareness campaign. You have to ensure behavioral change. You have to ensure collaboration with government, private sector, and other communities out there. So that your education campaign would work. And you also need some innovation reporting tools. Right now, we have the 1326 of the CICC. We have the EGOBAP of the ICT. We even have the hotline. So the 911 of the PNP, National Police. So we even have Who's Call, our partner. So I think it's important that everyone works together in a real whole of society approach. The problem now with these agencies, with this government, is that although they collaborate, they don't actually work together. So let's say for instance, no one is actually overseeing all the data when it comes to the scam. No one agency is owning it. How much we are losing, how much are reporting. So because you have several hotlines, you have the PNP, you have the NBI, you have the CICC. So they're not being consolidated right now though. So I think that's what we're working now with the CICC and PNP ACG to have a holistic approach and then one team, one unified team to go against the scam. Okay.
And before I let you go, Mr. De Guzman, do you have any final message for our listeners and viewers here on Front and Center? And also,
Yeah.
if you have message to our to other stakeholders like the government, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, right now, just we need to continue the awareness campaign. We will soon launch the Holiday Watch PH, wherein we are going to warn our kababayans about the 12 scams of Christmas and continue to report to 1326. Download Who's Call app and please follow Scam Watch Pilipinas on Facebook. So that's it.
And just for a follow-up question, since you have mentioned the Holiday Watch PH, so how could they access? Do you have websites or pages for that, or it would be just integrated into your current social media pages?
Well, that will be a holistic approach. So it will be part, a lot of agencies will be part of that. We will launch that around November. But for now, you can go to scamwatchpilipinas.com. All of the reporting tools are on that website.
And with that, thank you very much, Mr. De Guzman, for joining us here in our program. Until next time, mabuhay po kayo.
Thank you.
And we were just joined by Mr. Josel De Guzman, who is the co-founder and co-lead convener of Scam Watch Pilipinas. With that, we will be ending our program for today. We would just like to thank our technical team here in our studio, of course, composed by Sir Milo Janela, Ma'am Susan Aison, Hiro Lucero, and Justine Osias. Thank you also to our station manager, Mr. Ray Sampang. Until the next episode of Front and Center, on behalf of our colleague Jerome Toledo, this has been your host, Steph Vicente. Good day and stay safe, everyone.
You have just heard and watched Front and Center. Front and Center. Join us again for another edition here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Front and Center.